Hi there, it's Kevin with RogueDeckBuilder.com here with an arena deck. Didn't do anything for Tuesday Brews Day for the past couple of weeks. Had a dead hard drive. We've got that fixed, so now I'm going to be up and running with the deck techs. Expect this the start of the year. After the holidays, we should finally be out of the chaos, and I'll have some time to start doing deck techs. Mainly going to focus on Pioneer, but I thought instead of just playing, I've just been playing Arena casually, and instead of just playing without recording, might as well record some games and some decks. This is not my idea for a deck. This was just a Wolves deck that I saw floating around, and I decided to give it a spin in the Magic the Gathering Arena meta, and it's actually doing quite good. So basically there are 3 decks on MTG Arena right now. I'm going to put all of the Embercleave decks in the same category. There are Gruul Embercleave decks, Knights Embercleave, Mono Red Embercleave decks. There are just black, or I guess Rakdos aggro with Embercleave. I've seen Embercleave in a bazillion different decks with red. Apparently it's really good against the blue-green flash decks as well as the Fires of Inventions decks, as it can race Fires of Invention. It's also just a versatile equipment that then be equipped late game onto any creature to then give basically your 1/1s turn into 4 damage, and that's very significant versus the versus the Fires of Invention deck, especially when you top deck like a haste type creature. So I put Embercleave decks in one category. The next category that I put is going to be the blue-green decks, whether it be flash or just ramp. They're basically the same decks. There's a little bit different axis which Flash works on. Of course, it's going to be having more Flash cards like the Night Pack Ambusher. But the other card that, or the other blue-green decks are going to be more the ramp decks, and they're going to go more in the Hydroid Krasis and the Nisha Who Shakes It world. So kind of, and you can even put Golgari in that category. So it's going to be the green go bigger decks in the second category. And the third category that we're seeing is just Fires of Invention. So there are many different flavors of Fire of Invention. There's the all-out Fires of Invention with the Cavaliers, or there is the Nicol Bolas version, or there is the Fairy version that she's using at sideboard as utility with like Casualties of War. But all of those decks are basically the same. So if you can have a deck that actually competes versus all 3 of those decks, I think you're in a good place. I actually like Mono Black as my favorite deck, just Mono Black Aristocrats is what we like to call it. I'll have to show you how that works. I've been playing that in the standard tournament. I don't think you should be playing ranked. I'm going to actually be playing ranked here in a second. If you're gold or higher, you are wasting time playing in ranked. What you should be doing is either the standard tournaments or the traditional standard tournaments. The payout will be better than ranked. Ranked is pretty pathetic once you're past gold. The grind is definitely real. You have to have a pretty good win percentage to start grinding through gold, and all you get is 1 pack. That's it, from going to gold to platinum to diamond to mythic. So unless you're grinding for mythic, which I think is just a waste of time because it's going to be no lifers that are going to get there, because you literally have to play a metric ton of arena games to get mythic ranking. No matter how good of a player is, it's just going to take a long time, and then you're going to have to be glued to your computer the first few days towards the end of the ranked season, when all the ranked are definitely going to grind to try to hit those spots. So if you're looking to grow your collection, definitely do these standard tournaments. In fact, that's what we'll do for this one. We'll play until we get kicked out of the standard tournament. So I'm not going to run a sideboard for this particular deck. Vivian, or I like to run the Vivian, the 4-drop Vivian in the sideboard. The Knight of Autumn would go in the sideboard. Possibly some cards like Duress or Noxious Grasp would go in the sideboard, because we do have access to black with this deck. But anyway, we'll just look at the main, and we'll just do a standard tournament which does not use sideboards. So first of all, the whole point of this deck being Wolves is Tolsimir, Friend to Wolves. This is a 5-mana spell. Whenever a wolf enters the battlefield, you gain 3 life, and it fights up to 1 target creature your opponents control. And when it enters the battlefield, it creates a 3/3 wolf. So you're going to get some value out of Tolsimir coming into play. You're gaining life and fighting, which is very relevant against the Embercleave decks and very relevant against the blue-green decks. So where it's bad, this card is kind of slow versus the Fires of Invention. Fires of Invention is going to be our worst matchup here. So, I mean, this is in the rock, paper, scissors format. We're going to do good against rock, paper, and lose to scissors. So we're kind of an offshoot of the meta at the moment. moment. So the other good card in this deck is definitely be Wicked Wolf, which is another fight type creature that's going to do very good against the Embercleave decks and is going to do decent against the blue-green decks as well. So with the Wolf Tribal, we're going to finish it off with Nightpack Ambusher. So Nightpack Ambusher is going to have all your wolves and werewolves +1/+1 and spit out a 2/2 green wolf creature token if you did not cast a spell this turn. So if you get Nightpack Ambusher and Tolsmir, Friend of Wolves down, then you are going to be creating a 3/3 wolf every turn that's going to fight and gain 3 life. Good luck, Embercleave decks, coming back from that. If you stabilize, you basically win the game. The other wolf tribal is going to be Garruk. That's the whole reason we're running black. Garruk is going to spit out 2 wolves a turn, and if you have Tolsmir out, they're going to fight and gain you 6 life. And if they do die, then Garruk gets up to the -6, which gives all your creatures +3/+3 and trample, which then you can take over the game quite quickly after that. So all the other cards are going to support this strategy. We're in green, so we might as well run Nissa, Who Shakes the World, blah, blah, blah. I know how boring that is, but Nissa is just a broken card right now. If any card is still on the radar of possible bannings, it would be Nissa. This card just does too much for what it leaves back a 3/3, ramps you into a huge Hydroid Krasis if you're going that direction, and other decks like the other just go big green creatures, they can chain off a lot of cards in one turn and really get, like Great Henge is another card that is synergizing quite well with Nissa, Who Shakes the World. I'm not going to talk too much about Nissa. We've seen it a million times. It goes in basically any deck that's running green, even a mid-range, even aggro decks are choosing to play Nissa. This is also a card that is very represented in the Pioneer format. So Nissa is going to go in this deck. The other one we're going to run is Questing Beast, is a 3 of. It's just a very good value creature. It's basically our only chance we have against the Fires of Invention deck is to get off some quick aggro with like Questing Beast. And it just synergizes good with this deck with the curve. I'm going to run one of Vivien Champion the Wilds. I want a meta where I can run more of these. This would definitely be in the sideboard as higher up because Vivien can give you some good card advantage. It actually can protect itself by giving something vigilance, so you can attack in with your Wicked Wolf and then leave it back to block. It also gives reach, which is very relevant with the Brazen Borrower meta that we're in. And I guess that would be an offshoot. That would be like the fourth deck that I do see a lot of is the blue-red flash deck. And so it is relevant in that against that deck. Vivien also has some synergy with Nightpack Ambusher, allowing you to cast creature spells as flash. But I tested this and it was just really weird curve-wise. You don't want to be curving into 3. You want to be going 2 to 4. So Gilded Goose can kind of curve into it, but you really want that Gilded Goose to leave back the food token and then go into a 4-drop. So it's just the whole problem with this card in this particular deck is the curve. So Vivien, for that reason, is just down to a 1 of. The other cards we're going to run is Paradise Druid and Gilded Goose. Both those are going to ramp into our 4-drops. And then Flower to Flourish is just a decent card. I'd have to be playing more lands in this deck. We are running 24. Yeah, that's actually probably pretty good, but Flourish can actually be a finisher by giving all creatures you control +2/+2. With a card like Tolsmir or Nightpack Ambusher that spit out a token or two, that can definitely be lethal. So I do like Flower to Flourish in this particular build. Again, nothing too fancy with this deck. It's just a classic mid-range deck that's trying to get out the creatures to then take over the game, go bigger than your opponent. So let's go ahead and queue up here in a... Let's go ahead and do a tournament here for the standard. So you want to come over here to the standard event, and we will pay some gold and choose a deck, and we'll just play until we get kicked out and see how well this deck does. So alrighty here, let's get going with the good old Wolves. And I've been seeing a ton of Embercleave decks in this particular format, just the standard no sideboard, because aggro decks do tend to do quite well in a best of 1 type match. So these were queuing pretty quickly earlier today, but now we're recording. I guess it's going to take 9 years for us to get a game. I will definitely have to show the black. Like my go-to deck is the mono black deck. Mono black Aristocrats. You can find just any old stock list. It works pretty good with the Cat and the Witch's Oven. That is doing quite well also in the middle. I guess there is a fifth deck that I didn't talk about either, is the Food. Food is, I kind of put in the same category as the green decks because it plays a very similar role, but Jund Food still is pretty common, but I would say it's less common. It's losing a lot of the share of the meta, just because I don't think it does decent versus the aggro decks at the moment. You think it would with creating a lot of food tokens, but sometimes those wow, we get a draw. Look at that. Maybe Arena is down here. But let me know in your own meta if you're seeing a lot more Jund food. I know that on MTGO and some of the bigger tournaments, Jund food is still more represented. But Arena, I'm not seeing it at all. It's Embercleave and Fires of Invention and blue-green decks that you're going to see the vast majority of. All right, so this is actually a pretty bad hand as we're not doing anything for 3 turns. We are going first, though. So we have a lot of outs here. We can draw into just a Paradise Druid or a Flower to flourish, or even just a Gilded Goose turn 2 could be decent. There's our Paradise Druid. So now this hand turned into a terrible hand to a great hand. Because we have some options here. We can go into Nighthook Ambusher. We can actually go into just a Questing Beast. I actually think Questing Beast is a little more powerful here, as we can get in for 4. So we'll just get in for 4 right now. And then hopefully we can draw one more land to get the Nissu Shakes the World, and then we can be in pretty good shape. So this is going to be a Fires of Invention deck with Paradise Druid, huh? Opponent can get a 3-drop out. They can go like Murderous Rider. They took a lot of damage with the shock and the double shock to get this out, and the Questing Beast. So if my opponent does go for like a kill the Questing Beast with a Knight, then we can Questing Beast again. That'll take 2. My opponent will be down. Just going to go Paradise Druid. All right, so unfortunately we do miss the land drop, so I'm just going to give Questing Beast, and Questing Beast will take our opponent down to an 8. So Paradise Druid's kind of a non-bow with Fires of Invention. Opponent needs to put out a 4, and they can cast 2 4-drops, but I mean, these aren't ramping up whatsoever. We do have a Nighthook Ambusher. Wow, opponent's going to go with maybe... Can't go a Time Wipe. So just hard cast a Kenrith? Casualties of War, huh? So just hard cast the Casualties of War, and we'll just tap the mana. It resolves. Opponent does have one more card they can cast here. So what can they do for 4? Like, worst case scenario is Teferi. Hopefully they don't go to their second main phase and actually cast it right now. Like, they should be trying to go to their second main phase, because this forces me to do the Nighthook Ambusher. So it is Teferi. So hopefully my opponent actually... Oh, crap. I can't cast it now. That was dumb of me. So I messed up. And we missed our land drop. Yeah, this is actually pretty bad. I think we actually lost this one. The Casualty of Wars was pretty good. I should have cast the Nighthook Ambusher. My opponent then would have bounced it, but then we could have killed Teferi. Girl Spiral doesn't do much. Could go for Teferi to bounce Paradise Druid. Like, I really do not like this Fires of Invention build. This, I think, is a pretty terrible one. I get you can ramp out the Casualty of the Wars, but the Fires of Invention is just so bad with both. Oh my gosh. Well, that's going to get us. I don't think we're going to be able to come back from this. I'll play it out because we can go runner into a Questing Beast. I should have a Nighthook Ambusher out, or actually it would have got bounced. Wonder if my opponent's going to bounce their own. Oh no, because they can just draw a card. And another Teferi. Teferi can actually draw another card. So we need... Yeah, I'm just going to scoop it up. Those Casualty Wars were pretty good off the top there. To keep us off of lands. But we'll go on to the second one. Again, Fires of Invention is going to be our weak matchup. The other two are much more reasonable with this deck. Again, that's why I like to run the Mono Black, because I actually don't think Mono Black has a bad matchup. It's good versus the Embercleave decks. It's great. Oh, it's great versus the Embercleave decks. It's good versus the blue-green decks, and it's very, very good versus Fire of Invention. So we'll actually keep this hand. It's kind of slow. We have the Temple of Malady. We don't want the double Nissas. I'll actually keep that land on top to ramp out this Nissa, and we actually will hopefully have mana for the Garruk. So no one dropped for the mono red. So we will just lead off with a Paradise Druid. It allows for some better plays than a Temple of Malady. And the Hexproof's actually nice on the Paradise Druid, as opponent can't Bone Crusher Giant it. I'm expecting like a Bone Crusher Giant to the face, or not to the face here. Yeah, only 1 mana. Ha. So this can be Gruul. This one is a little more difficult if we can't get the proper... Oh, yeah. We did not want to see another Garruk. That's awkward. I think it goes to the bottom. So Gruul could get us because we just need the Tolsimir and the Wicked Wolf, and neither one of them we've found so far. Nissa is going to be good to ramp into, but we can definitely be beat down by... Do my opponent miss a land drop? That's good for us. So Wicked Wolf is interesting here, but I think it's just Nissa. Oh boy, I actually shouldn't have done the forest. Would my opponent take the... I'm actually going to allow the block if my opponent wants to block. I think this is pretty smart to attack in. Yeah, I should have put it on the forest. I should have put it on the temple. Because if my opponent kills the forest with a fight card here, we could be in pretty good... Yeah, this is horrible shape. Because now the... Nissa dies, and I'm out. I guess it wouldn't have mattered. Nissa does die. Hopefully we draw another land. Questing Beast. Questing Beast is actually pretty good. Opponent's still struggling with lands. We're getting lucky there. Very lucky there. We need another Domri's Ambush. Yeah, that'd actually be pretty bad because then it would kill and then we'd take some more damage. Ay. So my opponent does only have two mana, but we're getting beat down. So Wicked Wolf might need to just kill the Goblin. Oh, that's actually pretty good. So we'll go another Nissa. And we're dead to so many cards here. I need to keep this alive, which does get Garruk out. So hopefully there's not another plus spell. So Nissa goes down to a 1. So Garruk does come out next turn. Oh, Garruk does not come out because there's a shock. So Wicked Wolf's actually pretty bad. Overgrown Tomb. Does not do it. So those double Domri's Ambush just were brutal for us. Oh, I have to fight it. I have to fight it here. I just messed up big time. So we have to fight. I thought it was a May. But it is not a May for the Wicked Wolf. It has to fight. So, unfortunately, had the perfect 2. We'll play one more here. It wouldn't have mattered there if I didn't cast it as we were dead to the 5/5. Okay, this is a little bit better hand because we got the Gilded Goose to ramp out the Tolsimirs, and also gives us a food. Both those games, I think, the past 2 games, we were just 1 card off of hitting what we needed. I made some mistakes in both those games. All right, so here is the Scorch Splitter. This should be a pretty decent game for us. I think I will go, instead of the Temple, we'll go Gilded Goose and then Flower. And this gets us a Plains. So my opponent needs to kill both of these Gilded Goose. Otherwise, we're getting Tolsimer out, and I do not see my opponent coming back from a turn 3 Tolsimer. So worst case scenario is like shock on both the Gilded Gooses. That hurts, but it's not as bad. Because we get a block here without any. So this turn, yeah, we'll go Temple of Malady. And I'm going to throw the Forest on the bottom. And then we'll go Paradise Druid. So I think it's a little bit stronger than going a Questing Beast. Possibly it's not. So another Bone Crusher Giant. But we still do get out the Tolsimer this turn. So opponent had double Bone Crusher Giants. This is a card that really is one of the reasons to go red right now as well. Both Pioneer and Standard. So all the people that are complaining about Throne of Eldraine being a bad set without Oko, there are plenty of cards that are still seeing a lot of impact. So Chandra's Outrage. All right, whatever. All right, we'll get in here with the Paradise Druid and the 3/3. And now our opponent is playing uphill against where the green deck will be going over the top of our opponent. And there's a Bone Crusher Giant. As well as a Cavalcade of Calamities. All right, so we'll look here some wolves. I actually think my opponent doesn't block here. Because Embercleave is still a legit threat. We do have 2 foods we can eat. Yeah, perfect, though. I'll make this trade. And the turn here, we spit out a 3/3. So it needs to find another Chandra's Outrage. Flame Sweep just kills the Paradise Druid. And there's the Shock. My opponent is getting low on cards, though. Oh, it kills both. That is correct. Well, we'll sacrifice some food. Just one, because I want one for Wicked Wolf, just in case. My opponent is out of cards, though. There's the Wicked Wolf. I cannot believe my opponent came back this much, though. So it needs to put out a Bone Crusher Giant, which is fine, because then we can fight it with the Wicked Wolf. And a Thunderkin Awakener, if my opponent wants to attack, could get back a Scorch Spitter. Yeah, we'll just do Wicked Wolf here. Fight the Bone Crusher Giant and attack into the Questing Beast. Opponent's down to a 7. We have 2 4/4s out. Going to be hard to come back from this. Another Cavalcade. Opponent's just going to attack in for some memes here. Scorch Spitter does not get the trigger off the Cavalcade. It doesn't work like that. So it comes in attacking. And hey, opponent gets in for 2 damage here. We go down to 19. And then we kill our opponent on the backswing. So we'll go ahead and do that. And we do win one against the Cavalcade deck, which is what this deck is definitely geared to beat. I would say Knights and Cavalcade are the easiest matchup. Gruul is typically okay, but I mean, Gruul is one of those. I still think that Gruul is like the best deck with the right hand. Like if you could, if you had to pick a deck where you could architect the hand perfectly for a particular game, I think that Gruul has the best option. The problem with Gruul is sometimes you're matched up with like a Domri's Ambush, and then it gets Brazen Borrowed, and then you just lose the value off of that, and your curve's all messed up. This seems to be a okay hand on the draw. We do have Wicked Wolf, Questing Beast, and Nipik Ambusher. I got to make the decision it's whether we want to go Temple of Malady on turn 1. I think we do, because we do want to scry into a land, and then we'll flower into a land if not. So, all right. So this should be some sort of... That actually changes things. Does it change things? No, it doesn't. So Temple of Malady, and we'll keep a Temple Garden on top. Now we can double Flourish next turn. And we'll have all the lands we need. So it's going to be a lifelink. So like an Ajani, I'd say. Ajani Pridemate. So we'll go ahead and get 2 forests here. We are still kind of slow, but our opponent's slow as well. They only have a 1/1 Death Toucher. And they can start drawing cards. It's going to be a little bit of a problem card for us at the Dawn. And does decide to go that route. We are slow with this hand. No Mana Dorks to ramp us up. Wicked Wolf can take care of whatever they put out. I'm not going to take care of the Vampire, of course. We also have Questing Beast and Nighthook Ambusher. Ill-Gotten Inheritance, I mean, it's something that I eventually have to tack through. We have, with cards like Garrick, we can... oh, no, this does it per upkeep. I was thinking the other one. So, I think the right play here is just going to go good old Questing Beast. And now our opponent's going to be on their heels. Dawn Hope is a pretty intensive mana card, though, to start to eke out the advantage. And decides not to. So, Revenge of Ravens, yeah, this is just... I knew that's the sort of deck this is. My opponent's debating if they want to attack in with the Vampire. Which is the right play because they can't block it anyway. So here we'll just put out the Forest. And this is where our good friend Tolsimir, Friend of Wolves, comes down. And we will fight it. Gains us some life. Also takes off the engine. 15 to 19, but I'm taking a life per turn and taking a life every time I attack. But if our opponent keeps spitting out cards, we'll be able to continue to fight. And we do have the Nighthook Ambusher that's going to really start to eke us out advantage, plus the Vivian. So no Pridemate type cards. There should be 2 of them in their deck. There's the flying one, or is that M19? No, it's at M20. And there's also Johnny's Pridemate that I'm sure synergizes this deck. So kind of a casual deck we're going up against, which is fun. Always nice to see different decks than the same old 3. Got to be careful too with this Ill-Gotten Inheritance is... Oh my gosh. We're just going to die to this nonsense? I want my opponent to put out creatures. Perfect. Because I do want to start... I still want to fight stuff here. So do I just need a Wicked Wolf here just to eke out some... We Nighthook Ambusher, does it have to fight? It does have to fight. Now that's ridiculous. So I think it's Nissa. Unfortunately, I don't think I attack into things. I need to gain a lot of significant life here before I'm in the range of the... Yeah. I don't think I do attack. This is awful. So my opponent can actually start drawing. I'm going to lose this one unless I can find. I mean, Nissa can start chaining things off, but the Death Touch was weird with the. Like, we can gain life too, which is exactly where we want to be. All right, so Johnny here is going to gain life and put it on the vampire. Or can exile. A creature I get to gain 2 life, though. Isn't this the one out of the packs? All right, it's going to go for a questing beast. That's fine. Because, yeah, my opponent knew that Johnny would die. So vampire should still... does not come in. Okay. So we can just start... or we can do a lot here with... think we're gonna let's start off with a Vivian. And I will -2 Vivian. Hopefully you don't find some Garrix here. I think I still would rather have creatures. We'll take the Wicked Wolf. Wicked Wolf will fight. So we are going to gain some life. And cast the other Wicked Wolf. No, because Johnny's down to 2, so that's fine. So it has to fight a creature you don't control, fight up to 1 you don't control. Okay, so we'll cast another Wicked Wolf. That's fine. So we'll gain some life here. We'll go ahead and kill a Johnny. Which... I don't know why I was panicking. I think we're in good shape now. So Johnny's dead. We're up to 19. So Tolsmir's very key with gaining some residual life per turn. So now what we need to find is we need to find a Garrick and actually get Garrick plussed. Or just enough Night Pack Ambushers. I think my opponent should start to draw some cards. With Dawn of Hope. Now I can't even attack in... There's Garrick, though. Okay, so Garrick will start to get us a lot of value. So we're going to tap. And let's go Garrick. But now how do we get him to die is the problem. We'll Nightpack Ambusher. That can make bigger. This is just a mess. No attacks. We'll end the turn here. I can start killing my own creatures with Garrick, I guess. Still doesn't seem decent. And I'm still in a bit of a pickle if my opponent board wipes. With Kaya's, you got to think that Kaya's Wrath is in here. We do get to use Nissa, though, and get every land in our deck. There isn't a lot of basics, though. There's quite a bit of basic for us. Epicure of Blood. Hey, our opponent's giving us something to fight. Perfect. But I can't kill these dumb Garrick tokens. All right, Soulmender. That gives me something better to fight. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So Nightpack Ambusher can come in, and it has to fight... Oh no, it's got to fight another thing. Oh no, it doesn't. Okay. Oh, it only fights from. I'm thinking of the Wicked Wolf. So we'll go ahead and negative Nissa. Oh, it can get any forests. Okay, perfect. So grab, 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 grab. Is there a way to grab all with this stupid card? And then we can do another Wicked Wolf to fight the... No, we'll just pass the turn. So now we can actually attack in with a Wicked Wolf, but it doesn't do much. I could destroy it with... No, we'll just create 2 more. Well, I guess that's how we fight. There we go. There's a way to get the counter on. The Garrick. So now Garrick has the loyalty. And I don't think we care about Nissa here. I think we'll pass the turn and spit out them. These 2 can get in for some damage. They get in for a whopping 1 damage. It's going to be a grindy game. But we're gaining a ton of life per turn. Opponent's going to draw a lot of cards per turn. We don't draw any lands except for temples. And there's only... I guess there's 3 temples left. But we're ulting Garrick next turn. And keeping Garrick alive. Oh my god. All 4 Revenge of Ravens, huh? Is it worthwhile? Yeah, might as well flash in the Wicked Wolf. Gilligoose, of course, is pretty terrible. We can Vivian -2. We need to find another Nightpick ambusher. I can take the other Garrick, but I don't know. Yeah, it's probably better. Oh, no, 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 no. That just goes away. Whoops. I was thinking you could do Planeswalkers with it. We'll just negative Garrick. Tag him with everything. Which gives a bazillion triggers. Does that actually kill me? I don't know if that even just kills me before damage is done. 4, 8, 12, 16. That actually kills me. We'll see if it gets there. This is ridiculous, though. Because they only get in for 2 damage. Yeah, I can't even win this without... All 4 Revenge of Ravens out of 19 cards. And still has 6 mana. How many Revenge of Ravens is still left? 9, 8. Yeah, I think I'm way dead. Because of all Revenge of Ravens. So I needed to just go for another Garrick ult, I think, is how we'd have to do it. But I mean, that's just ridiculous with all the revenge. There we go. We lose 3-1. Can't even beat the casual deck because we are a deck that attacks in. I don't know. Is there a way? Yeah, I'd have to just continue to go Garrick's ults, get him up, get him bigger, get him bigger, get him bigger, get him bigger. But that's just, yeah, there's no way out of that. Or just attack 1 per turn with the 2 7/7s. That would have done 3 damage per turn. Let's play another one, or I'll hurry in and do another standard event with it. See if we can get some. non-crazy matchups. We'll do a couple more matchups here. Revenge, 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 revenge. Wonder too, like, no, because I think I would have ran out of cards before my opponent. We could have kept going on with that matchup indefinitely. Gaining 3 life per turn with a wolf coming into play. Yeah, that was kind of a whiff on my part. This is a decent hand with the Paradise Druid into Tolsimer. We're going probably up against fires, though. Most likely with the temples. Yep. So we have a slow hand versus fires. Nissa is pretty good versus fires, though. Anticipate. Yeah, this is still probably fires. So next turn we have Nissa. Possibly this still could just be... Okay, maybe it's not fire. Ritual of Soot. Alright, we'll go Temple because I want Nissa out on time. And we'll keep a Garrick. So some sort of Esper control that's running Tranquils. We'll run it out, see if opponent has it. Oh, it actually hits. Noxious Grasp coming down? No Noxious Grasp. All right, we're actually in pretty good shape here. We'll go Garrick. See if Garrick gets countered. Garrick does not get countered. Going to be another difficult card for opponent to deal with. So let's go ahead and attack for 6. Murderous Rider on Garrick. On Nissa, okay. Yep, on Nissa. I guess that would be better. And to Spark on Garrick. Ugh. Put us down to a 9, though. They need another Ritual Soot. Time Wipe. Time Wipe does work and destroys all my lands. Womp womp. So now we just need to start hard casting Wicked Wolves. Liliana. See what Liliana's going to do. All right, we sacrifice the Wicked Wolf. I'm actually going to go a Gilded Goose just so I can get a Tolsimer out next turn. I think it might be a little more powerful. So this is just Esper control. Murderous Rider comes down. That actually gives us a better target to fight. Ah, we would have had it anyway. Doesn't get a draw card off that either. Oh, it does get a draw because it still dies, then goes to the bottom. So I don't know if we can beat Liliana. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard to beat a Lily. Especially with Akaya's Wrath. think Sorcerer's Spyglass would be a great card in the sideboard as well. We'll go ahead and negative Vivian and grab a Wicked Wolf and then pass a turn. Unfortunately, this Lily's going to be very, very tough for us to beat. Just the amount of sheer card draw that Lily's going to provide. Murderous Rider. Well, we're going to go for another Tulsimer. Opponent still gets to draw a card off of Lily. Just too much card advantage. Now we're going to get the Castle Ardenvale. So Mission Briefing is going to go for probably another Kaya's Wrath, I would assume. Indeed. Draw some more cards. And we'll go a Paradise Druid. And grab another land to thin out. So all board wipes Lily.deck. Guess this is why you run Gruul right now. Yeah, this deck just seems way too slow for Gruul. We'll go for the Wicked Wolf. But my opponent still can throw out a Castle Ardenvale. So effectively, my opponent's life total is 32. That's the problem is, like, Liliana is going to tick up, and then I'm just going to lose. Oh, didn't actually activate. Did they not have enough to activate the Castle Ardenvale? Thought they did. That's why I didn't attack with the Paradise Druid. Time wipe again. At least we can keep the Wicked Wolf alive. Might actually be able to kill Lil or hit Lily here. Problem is they can use a Castle Ardenvale. Garrick, huh? Only destroys a creature. Haven't seen a counterspell yet. There's the counterspell. Well, we're going to go for Lily. So I guess should have done Wicked Wolf there. Opponent's down to 30 life. Need a questing beast off the top. There's the 4th time wipe. No, 1, 2, 3rd. Yeah, so I think it's questing beasts or bust here. Don't think Nissa does it. Probably another quench anyway. Yup. And now Liliana can ult. Really? Decides to keep... Oh, yeah, because they could still lose. So questing bees off the top could still win this game. Unless opponent has some way to shuffle in. I'll laugh if it is a questing beast. I mean, questing beast still doesn't get me out of this completely, but with 23 cards left, ambusher, huh? Ambusher's interesting. Now my opponent should ultimate here. Should have tapped the other land. $20 cards left. Murder Strider. Womp womp. I guess that's a way, too, that opponent doesn't mill. We know that Murder Riders, yeah, there's 2 of them right there. Almost been through their entire deck. Then we can't cast Wicked Wolves. They get 2 per turn. There's the 4th Murder Strider. Just going to hard cast it. 17 cards left in deck. $16 cards. So if I draw into a land, could be in decent shape. Probably not, though. All right, we do get a land, so we'll go Wicked Wolf. Should be another quench, though, that's left. And there it is. Yep. All right, we'll go on to the next matchup. It was close. Opponent was almost out of resources. They have 1 Lily in their entire deck. Oh, that's kind of salty. They found it that quickly. Unless they had multiples in their hand. All right. So now we're what? 1 and 5? 1 and 4? I think we're 1 and 4. I wonder if the sideboard, the Flash Elf would be pretty good. The 2/2. Yeah, probably not. Where you can dump in a lot of mana to it. I think the Shifting Ceratops would be a definitely a good card in the sideboard for the blue decks. Slow hand. This is incredibly slow. I'm going to keep it. Hopefully this Temple of Malady finds us something. Almost feels like putting like an Incubation Druid too as another ramp card. Oh man, that's a difficult decision. I think we keep it. I think keeping Gilded Goose is good with the Wicked Wolf combo. And now we're going against Fires of Invention. which I think we're just going to be too slow. Oh, maybe not. Could be Teamer Adventures. Haven't seen this deck in a while. Now they're going to shock it. I think I'll just pass the turn. Wicked Wolf seems pretty... Nah, we'll just Wicked Wolf it. If he gets quenched, it gets quenched. Got to get him out of their hand. Opt. And it is just a 3/3 that they can get bigger with the 2 food tokens out. So we'll just do Paradise Druid. All right, no play here. I'm thinking there's some sort of Wilderness Reclamation or... Yep, there it is. Now it's going to be difficult to beat. So I'm going to put my opponent on a quicker clock here. Might as well spend the this will most likely get countered. Does not. So we're threatening lethal next turn unless my opponent reacts. Okay, that's actually okay. Now opponent's got a ton of mana, so Expansion Explosions can be huge. Still threatening lethal, though. So gets to scry with the castle. No, it's gonna tap all the mana. And just burn it? Explosion. Interesting. But we did draw the Questing Beast, so it's 4, 6, 7, 8. That's perfectly lethal. Okay, we actually win that one. That was a good Questing Beast off the top. I think the other thing we could have done is attacked in with everything and then played another Tolsimir to kill the Brazen Borrower, and that puts us out of range of another Expansion Explosion. I think just barely. So now 2 and 4 with the deck. We're starting to see some pretty good synergies. Definitely think Shifting Ceratops is the key card. Another creature that has potential of haste. This I do think is a keepable hand. It is risky. We do need lands. But our opponent's just going to scoop it up, give us a free win. That was nice for opponent. Appreciate it. Guess they kept a loose hand and then decided it wasn't playable. Okay. Guess that's a thing. Alrighty, so this is a pretty decent hand here. We're ramping into a Nissa and a Questing Beast. This curve is really good. I actually think Temple of Malady is the better play than going for the Flourish. We'll keep a Wicked Wolf on top. Seems pretty reasonable for an alternative to Questing Beast. Paradise Druid comes out. Next turn, we do have either one of them. Yeah, it doesn't matter what our opponent puts out here. We'll be able to react to it with a relevant card. Another Dawn of Hope deck. What are we doing? Okay, we'll get some damage on here with Questing Beast. Opponent's down to 16. What is up with the Dawn of Hopes? And an Angel of Vitality. Yeah, we'll wolf it down. I think it's the better play. Tag him with both. Rather do that than a flower, I say. Yeah. Because we're threatening lethal next turn with a land. We're threatening lethal without a land. Yep. So Angel Vitality lifelink deck. Opponent goes down to a Godless Shrine and a Twin Blade Paladin, which we can just Wicked Wolf and swing in for lethal. And that was pretty quick. All right, so nice curve. This is what the deck does with a good curve. Tolsmer would have been pretty bonkers there too. Hey, we might actually even the series out. Now that we are... Yeah, now we're 4-4. That's 4-4, correct? Oh, but there's the person that gave us that free win. So we're really 3-4 right now. Let me know in the comment section too if you'd like to see like other formats. Again, I'll be probably focusing on Pioneer. So need to download MTGO and start playing it again. But I do want to take a look back at Pauper. Pauper seems to be an okay place right now. It's kind of back to how it was before Arkham Astrolab ruined it. I mean, there's still a lot of ephemerate decks out there. And we might take a look at Modern one of these days again. But I don't know. I just prefer playing on Arena. It tends to be more enjoyable than playing on MTGO. Let's go Temple here. I'll keep a Vivian. I think Vivian's fine. Should have done it the other way around with the flower. So we'll keep the flower in our hand then. So another blue control deck. Gonna bounce back my goose. Don't do it. Leave my goose alone. Decided not to. That makes things a little interesting. Ambusher can't be played. I think we'll just go Vivian. And get the Tolsimer. But these blue control decks are pretty rough. I don't think we want to kill my token. Surprised Teferi decided not to bounce any, not even, like, what, yeah, my opponent just negated and decided not to bounce anything. What would, I mean, should at least gone for the food token. No, because I could have cracked it. Yeah, I could have cracked it in response. So here we need to... I think we just go Wicked Wolf. Most likely we'll get countered. No, it does not. This is going to be a good card because it's going to have a food token to get indestructible. So now we can attack into Vivian. Prison Realm. That'll do it. So we need to find a questing beast. Where, oh, where is the questing beast? Well, we'll look for the questing beast. We'll take a Paradise Druid here, I think, is fine, rather than another Tolsimer. We got a hard cast. Let's go with the Forest just in case there's a Quench. And go with a Night Pack Ambusher. And there was no Night Pack Ambusher, so I think we won't play because there's got to be time wipes in the deck. So, yeah, we'll go Flower here and just thin out the deck. Find another card. So, probably going to hit a time wipe. Need the questing beast. Where are you at, my friend? And this is, of course, where the sideboard with the Shifting Ceratops would be a lot better. So Dovin's Veto in hand. Doesn't really do a lot against us. Got to worry about like a Brazen Borrower. We're going to be attacking into Teferi. So we'll do a Temple. Throw that on the bottom. Give our dude Vigilance. Yeah, pretty sure Brazen Borrower is going to come down. Indeed it does. So I think I'm going to put out a bigger threat with Tolsimir. This should get a time wipe. But Narset and Teferi are going to be able to tick here. There's the time wipe. Interesting. Not going to go for a time wipe this turn. Agent of Treachery to grab my Tolsimir. Okay, this allows us to Tolsimir again. Kill the Agent of Treachery. Tolsimir better? Yeah, it is. So that's gone now, so time wipe. My opponent wanted to get the time wipe. So no point casting anything because I do believe time wipes can be coming down here. Opponent will probably be waiting next turn for the time wipe. That's the problem with these green decks. They are very vulnerable to these blue decks without Shifting Ceratops. Just need a quicker... All right, maybe going for time wipe right here then. Come on, Questing Beast. Oh, nope. Going to go for it next turn, so going to cast it as an instant. So I don't need to go for Questing Beast now. Found another land, unfortunately. We'll do this after the attack. Really? Gonna allow that to happen, huh? Vivian's putting in some work in this matchup. Another Paradise Druid, not going to cast anything. Now Time Wipe? Chemist's Insight getting rid of Dovin's Veto. And now Brazen Borrower coming down? Alright, yep, that's fine. So we can block the Brazen Borrower because my opponent's planning and going towards Vivian. Teferi number 2. So we do have to go for Ambusher now. But we get the Borrower out before the Time Wipe. So pretty sure Time Wipe's coming down here. I'm going to do it on my turn. Found the Questing Beast now. We have more lands than the control deck. That's always a bad sign. Need to find something like Garrick. There's the Time Wipe. All right. Go Questing Beast. See if Time Wipe number 2 comes down. Could also be an Absorb. Tail's End. Okay, that is a legendary creature. We'll go another one then. And there's the Absorb. Opponent cannot cast a... or put out a castle. Tail's End. It's an interesting card. Mass Manipulation, huh? Yikes. Don't think Vivian has a lot of synergy with my opponent, though. And now we have to get another Questing Beast off the top. Goose is pretty terrible. Ah, we needed Garrick earlier. We needed... I think this, the sideboard also would probably benefit from something like Murderous Rider. Noxious Grass would be good in the sideboard for sure. Did not find anything off of Vivian. This will probably get absorbed or tails ended. Vetoed. Most likely Paradise Druid will block Paradise Druid. Or can make a castle, that is correct. Still got to do it though. See if we can grind this down. Start attacking with Paradise Druids. At this point, we'll start cracking some foods. See if Wicked Wolf gets absorbed, because this is going to be a difficult card, actually. Yeah, all right. So that does get absorbed. And now they're going to start going with the Scry play. Okay, that's fine. Need good old shifting Ceratops. Make some food. Go ahead and scry a land away. Yep. Pass a turn. Got a lot of lands on the bottom. Wonder how many threats my opponent still has left in their deck. Gonna go for a Vivian. Vivian. Oh, it doesn't show you the cards. I thought they had to show the cards they had with Vivian, but apparently they don't. Wicked Wolf. See if it gets absorbed. Running out of the absorbs. If there's no absorb, we'll go Chemistry Insight to try to draw an absorb. And how to throw a Dovin's Veto rather than a land away. That's interesting. Aether Gust, we'll resolve it and put on top. Going to go with the Scry again. I think The Scry would make sure to hit Vivian. And now, of course, we're casting the Wicked Wolf. See if this one gets absorbed. There's the absorb. Oh, blue control is fun. Keeps one on top this time. Finally found something they want. And actually create a Ardenvale token this time. How many Wicked Wolves are we down? Is all of them? No, we have plenty of Wicked Wolves left. Nope, we have one left. Speak of the devil. That one hits. Get to kill a token. There's our fourth Wicked Wolf. Oh, and there's a Finale of Glory for a bazillion. All right. So we lose that one. And that was a long game, so I'm just going to call it right there. And went pretty much a little less than even with this deck. I guess we can play one more. We'll play until we lose here. Possibly we can win this one out. Keepable. We got a lot of temples here, so I think it is Gilded Goose over the Temple of Maladies. So we can go Overgrown Tomb or Temple Garden in a Temple of Malady. Alrighty. Get out the goose. Let's go against a mid-range or another aggro-based deck. No more of this blue control nonsense. Gonna make me play Unmoored Ego deck. Alright, Simic Guildgate. Okay, so we could go for creating a... Nope, let's go Temple. And we'll keep a Wicked Wolf. And I don't think we need Wicked Wolf again here, so we'll just Temple again. And throw that to the bottom. I don't think we want it. And then pass. No play by my opponent. Let's go ahead and create a food. There's Questing Beast. Have a difficult time thinking we're going to get anything established here. So, I think we're going to go with Questing Beast. Gets countered. I think we're going against Blue-Green Flash, which we need our own flash cards. gets quenched. And Spectral Sailored. Gives us a target, though, for the Tulsimer. So now we just definitely have to keep... Huh. Well, we'll go Wicked Wolf. See if this one gets countered by a Frilled Mystic. Another reason to be going for aggressive right now, another reason I like Mono Black, is it's good versus this deck. Against Blue-Green Flash, you need to establish threats early, so Gruul is good against it, and so is like Mono Red and Mono Black or any of the combinations. Otherwise, this is what happens. You just get controlled out here. So I will go Flourish here. We need to start getting the lands out. Play a land. This does allow for a Garruk. A Garruk can be quite solid if we can actually hit a Garruk, but again, if my opponent's got like a couple more counter spells in hand, we'll just lose to the Frilled Mystics. And that's what looks like is going to be the case. Didn't go for Nissa, so I think since we have double Garruk, that's probably the route to go. But again, if this gets Frilled Mystics, it's even worse. Just gets quenched. So down to an 8. 3 cards left in hand. So we can go for Garruk again. And hopefully this one sticks. Sinister Sabotage. It does not stick. But at least we can block the Spectral Sailor. Throws away the Brianport Cutthroat, but keeps one on top. No, there's only Surveil 1. So my opponent's looking for another counterspell. The good news is Tulsimir can take care of the Frilled Mystic if it can hit. The problem is there's still like Nipik Ambushers that are rough. And my opponent can start drawing cards when we both inevitably run out of things with the Spectral Sailor. So I'm down to a 5. And we got to go for... I should actually play the untap for Quench. And there's another Sinister Sabotage. So now my only chance is Nissa next turn. If Nissa does hit, we could be in okay shape. But even Brazen Borrower wins the game. Really annoying deck. Garruk is actually still better. Nissa can't get quenched, though. And it's just a Frilled Mystic. Womp womp. So counter with the one Frilled, the Frilled Mystic early to put the tempo beat down. So there we go. Have it. This one that was pretty rough. Like I said, this deck does good against we didn't see the Knights and the Mono Red aggro matchups, which is where this deck shines. It's going to lose versus all the rest of the cheese that's going around in the meta right now, all the blue-based decks. So that's still, in conclusion here, the deck that I would run right now in the meta, and I have been running in the meta, has just been this straightforward mono black deck because it establishes the aggressive cards, and once you have some established aggressive cards out, like a Cauldron Familiar with the Witch's Oven, for example, is very aggressive actually, or the Knight of Eben Legion. So if Knight of Eben Legion can then start threatening, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So against decks like Mono Blue or other those type of control-based decks, if you have that, you put them back on their heels. They have to react to you, not you reacting to them over and over to get everything counterspelled. And that's where we were weak. The Wolf deck, I think you probably should play in best of 2 or best of 3 and put the Shifting Ceratops and some anti-control cards in. Anything else with Flash would be good, like even the Elf with Flash. That way you can be more reactive to them rather than having to be proactive and just get beat by the control or the tempo-based strategies going out right now. But a deck like this is very good. Like Rankle is super good in this deck too with the haste and being able to make your opponent pitch cards. And Drillbit. Drillbit is an insanely good card in the meta at the moment. So this would be the deck. We'll have to showcase this deck sometime when I have some time to run it in some leagues to see how well it does. But overall, I'd like to have your comments in the comment section below of how you improved the deck. If there was, I definitely made some play mistakes. I'm still rusty with competitive Magic. Arena also has a mentality of just to, play poorly. I don't watch my plays as much as I do in paper Magic. Excuses or whatnot. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this this video, and be sure to comment in the comment section below. Kevin with Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.